Hey guys, how's it going? We are late to get this Q&A out, so I thank you so much for having some patience with me. I just got back from Michigan. I'm very excited to be home. The weather today could not be more beautiful. I've been home for about 2 days. The first 2 days I was home was extremely hot, but today it's supposed to be 101, but it's currently 78, and it is very, very cloudy out. We've had some sprinkles come down, which has been really, really nice. And then we're going to drop into the 90s and then into the 80s, and I could not be more excited about that. My trip to Michigan was amazing. I could not have asked for a better time. I could not have asked for better weather while I was out there. It rained a little bit. You guys are going to see a lot of Michigan trips. I think I filmed a total of 11 videos while I was out there. I was very, very busy over the 6 days, I believe I was out there. Lots of filming, lots of garden tours, lots of behind the scenes things, some things that I cannot wait to share with you. There's a couple of garden tours that I'm just beyond excited about. I think you guys are watching this and you're seeing same day also the Found Cottage Mercantile or the Found Cottage tour, one of those two. So one of the things I was very, very excited about. I don't have Brent here with me to do this video. He is currently working on something that we're in the middle of buttoning up, and I did want to let you guys know that we are trying to get very far ahead on videos right now because we do plan to be taking a vacation here. Sometime in October, we're planning on taking a vacation, and we are going to take some time off, and we are not going to film videos. We are not going to be editing videos. We are not going to be doing anything YouTube related while we're on vacation. We're going to take a proper vacation. Most vacations that we have taken and they have been, we bring our computer with us, or our computers with us, and we do editing still while we're on vacation. We do filming while we're on vacation. We post, we do all the YouTube things while we're still on vacation. And we decided to take an actual proper vacation, but we do want to be able to post videos while we're on vacation. So we're going to schedule them to go live while we are on our trip. And so that means that we have to work really hard to stockpile some videos. So you're going to see some things that are kind of, if you're local, you're going to be like, Robbie, that's not the weather. Or you're going to think, Robbie, you're a little bit late to the game. Or Robbie, you're a little bit early to the game on some things. And just so you guys know, for probably the next 4 to 6 weeks, videos are going to be not in the most chronological. They're still going to be in chronological order. They're just not going to be at the right timing. We like to shoot our videos so that they are 3 to 5 days ahead of when you guys are seeing them. That's kind of our sweet spot is we film it, we can edit it, and then we can upload it. And we like to be 3 to 5 days ahead. But right now we're trying to get it so we are about 2 weeks ahead, which is really, really hard. It's really hard also uploading and remembering, okay, what did we do in this video? So just so you guys know, things are going to be happening we're going to be about 2 weeks of a time difference from when videos get uploaded, just to give you guys a fair warning on it. With all of that being said, let's jump into the videos. And these were also shot before I had gone to Michigan because I wanted to have videos go live while I was still in Michigan. So doing all these trips is really hard because I have to get things filmed before I go somewhere, and then I also have to have a couple for when I get back from my trip. It's very complicated. Anyways, the last Q&A that we did was, is this all a tax write-off, and an apology for my comment. And then we had done Halloween at HomeGoods already, and then we did early morning garden cleanup before the heat hits, easy DIY fall crafts that you'll love, chatting through the garden chores, and then we did travel to Michigan with me, which is, I'd filmed it in Michigan, edited it in Michigan, and uploaded it in Michigan in between filming a whole bunch of other videos, and that was really, really rough. I think it was 11:30 at night when I was finishing editing and started uploading that video, so that was a rough day the next morning. So I probably won't do that ever again. That was just too much. I should have just missed that day, but I wanted you guys to see the start of my trip while I was still out there. And I am going to try to make this relatively quick. It's about 9 a.m. right now, and Brent is working in the back, and I would like to be able to go finish helping him with some of that, but we did want to get this filmed because I also have some things that I gotta do this afternoon. So last week's video, the first one was the Q&A, is this all a tax write-off, and then the apology for my comment about our Christian neighbor. If you had missed that, she had talked about how she was a good Christian woman, but she had screamed lots of slurs over, and it sounded like I had said something insensitive to her being a Christian, and I did want to apologize for that. So if you missed it, that's what that was all about. Let's get into it. And I'm only going to answer probably 2 questions, maybe 3 questions per video. The first question on that video is from Sue Kelly, and she had said, just curious why sometimes I can hardly hear your updates channels. I have my TV turned all the way up. Are you using different microphones? Could this just be on my end? Is anyone else having the same problem? It looks like somebody else is also having the same problem as you. If you guys ever have issues with audio, please let me know. When I do film the Q&As, we do wear microphones, so I am wearing a microphone right now. Usually we tape it to our chest so you don't even see the microphone. Like right now you can see the magnet. And so since I saw your comment, we've boosted the volume up even higher. So all of the videos that I shot, or most of the videos I shot in Michigan, I was wearing a microphone because I was around a lot of people. And so if you guys hear audio issues, please let us know. I do appreciate it. It probably wasn't yours. It was probably on our end. I rarely wear microphones when in the garden, except when we're sitting here talking and we film the Q&A and the camera is kind of a distance away. Then it makes audio muffled, or it picks up a lot of background noise. So when Brent and I are sitting here, we do mic up. So I have a microphone on now, and we will turn the volume up to as max as we can get it to. And the last question on that video is from Susan, and she had said, and of course he's not here to answer this one, he had said, I like seeing you on camera, Brent, especially for the Q&As. Also, I am impressed by your handy person skills around the yard. Fabulous job on the greenhouse and gazebo. I would like to ask a few questions for next week. What kind of birds are in your aviary? Do they have names, and who takes care of them? Many thanks. He reads all the comments, so he does see when you guys comment about it, when you guys do comment about him, and he says he doesn't like the attention, but I think he does kind of secretly like the attention. And then as far as our birds, we have zebra finch in our aviary out there. They stay out there year round, which is really nice because we don't get super cold. If we have a day that's like kind of close-ish to 32 degrees, we put a heat lamp out there for them, and usually we can see them huddled around the heat lamp. And then in the summer, we do have fresh water that goes every single day, so they get brand new water in there every day, twice a day usually. They don't have names because they all look so similar, especially we used to have 15 of them, and you could not tell who any of them was. And so we never knew who was who. We do have 3 of them now. I guess with the 3 of them, we probably could name them. We just never had, because we do eventually want more of them in there. And then for the most part, Brent takes care of all of the animals. I do turn the water on and off because sometimes the water overflows, so I do some of the watering. And then I would say Brent probably does about 80% of the birds, and then I do the rest of it. The birds were my idea, I will say that. And then they were kind of his idea. He wanted to turn it into an aviary. I wanted to turn it into a greenhouse, and then we agreed aviary. I guess it was technically his idea, because it was originally our chicken coop, and then now it's our aviary. But it's mostly him. He feeds the dogs too. He does most of the animal care here. And then I did want to say too, because every time we get a couple questions, the fountain will be linked in the description down below. I do link it in every video that we post over on this channel. The next video was Halloween at HomeGoods already, and it was us going Halloween shopping, and I love to go Halloween shopping. There weren't really any questions related to the video, so I'm not going to pull anything on there. But if you guys want to see more of those shopping type of videos, I would love to know. It doesn't just have to be Halloween. If it could be more like vlog style, more along the lines of just going shopping and doing some things together, I would love to know your input on that. The video didn't perform as well as like our other types of videos that we put out, like even some of the like craft style videos performed better than this one. I think also because it was a Halloween video and it was very, very early for Halloween, which I know it's very, very early for Halloween. I just love Halloween time. It's my favorite holiday. We both get dressed up for Halloween. Every year we've been something different. I can't wait to go pick our Halloween costume for this year. It's not going to be the cow costume, but I would like to do something fun. We don't go to Halloween parties. We don't go do anything. We decorate our house for Halloween, and we pass out full-size candy bars while we're dressed up, and we just have a good time with it. So I love Halloween. I know it's so early for some people, but it was definitely fun for us to go shopping. We didn't see anything. The Halloween decorations this year have been really, really weird, and I wasn't loving the pinks and the purples. I thought that was very, very strange for Halloween. Didn't love that. On to the next video though, the early morning garden cleanup before the heat hits. And this was my last little big cleanup that I did before heading out to Michigan. Pulled the petunias, we cut some things back. It was just kind of nice to like reset the garden, and coming home to the garden, having a bit of a reset was really, really nice. Things were cleaned up instead of looking super scraggly. I got a lot of weeds I gotta pull. I can see what happened in a week while it was hot. Lots of weeds popped up. Usually what I do is as I see a weed, I pull a weed. That's kind of the rule in my garden, is see it, pull it, then I don't have to spend hours and hours weeding all the time. But usually I'm weeding every week, all week long, just pulling things that I see pop up. And I did not do that the week that I was gone. Let me show you what I'm seeing behind me. It is bad. This is the heuchera bed, and there is so much pokeweed in here. So this area needs to be cleaned up really, really badly. I gotta do some work in that area. I gotta do some work in the entire garden. There's lots of weeds that have popped up. Like I said, going a week without pulling a single weed is kind of a lot. And Brent doesn't pull the weeds because he's been in trouble before for pulling things that weren't weeds. Like I put in some little seedlings and he's pulled them before. Partially, I didn't tell him that I was putting seedlings in. And so now he no longer does that. It is starting to rain. Oh. Brent is outside working, poor guy. So the first question on that video is from Heather, and she had said, it's not my rooster. What percentage of your garden is annual versus perennial? On the not my rooster thing, I actually have security footage. I have security footage of the street rooster running down the alleyway. We're gonna pop that up right now. I thought that was so funny. I was in Michigan and I saw it on the security camera running down the alleyway. I was dying laughing at that. As far as annual versus perennial, I feel like I have a really good mix. I tend to lean heavier on perennials because those are what gets sent to me. Proven Winners doesn't send me annuals, or no company sends me annuals really, so I don't have a whole lot of those. But the ones that I do have, I try to have them be really big impact and have it so that they're like loud in the garden, so they make quite the statement. I would say probably 25% of my garden is annuals, maybe 30%. The ones that I just have are very, very impactful. I want to be very mindful with the annuals that I choose. I want them to be big and loud. And so like the petunias that I go in with, I don't go in with like a million of them, but I do go in with a big solid block of them. Or like the gomphrena, I went in with a good number of those. And they get really big. So I try to just choose the ones that are the most impactful, that are going to do a lot. Like I've got some begonias in the side yard over here, and I probably won't choose those types of begonias. They were super cheap begonias, and they performed like super cheap begonias versus the Proven Winners ones. There's a very, very clear difference on how these guys performed. So I'll talk about that in a different video, but or I'll show examples of that in a different video. But the pink ones that we planted under the fountain, they stay tiny. I thought that they would fill out and really connect and it would be a solid mass. I think it's just worth it to pay the $7, $8 per plant for Proven Winners versus buying the $3 plant. That's a no brand that you need more of to get not even almost the same effect. So we'll see what happens next year, but I will probably lean a little bit heavier on some annuals next year. There's definitely some holes that I think some annuals could have done a really good job at doing some performance things. The next question on that video is from DMCR, and they had said, wouldn't trash cans for the grasses or any plant hold water and rot the plant? Maybe try chicken wire or window screening. So the trash cans that I'm going to use, they're wire mesh trash cans. They're from the Dollar Tree, and they're just like a solid mesh all the way around them. You can get them online, like the exact same thing, and people will use them as cloches, and they'll be like $5 or $6 per basically trash can, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and you can get them from the Dollar Tree for like $1.25. Totally worth it. I'm going to be planting most things next year in these wire trash cans. You could totally use chicken wire too if you have an abundance of chicken wire. Make your own little cloche out of them. I don't think we have any more chicken wire. We used to. If I had chicken wire, I would probably do that, but these ones are pre-made, and it's just going to make it so that the roots can grow through all of that. I won't put anything like trees and shrubs in that, but anything like perennials and grasses or annuals, I will probably put in those because the roots can grow through that, and it's not going to be like a structure thing. I would not put trees in there. That's not going to be safe for the trees, or things that are going to get absolutely massive. I wouldn't put inside that. Perennials, annuals, and very small shrubs I might put in the wire basket. Other than that, I'm not going to put it in the wire basket. The next question on that video is from Amanda, and she had said, do you have a link for the edging you use to make your garden beds? I love them. I will put a link to them in the description down below. They don't offer a coupon code, but if you are ordering, they're from Edgerite. If you click on my code, it does help me out. We do earn commission on that. And Edgerite has been very helpful in our garden, and so the commission that we earn from them really does help our projects. So I highly recommend using the metal edging. I had some people who would ask me when I was at the Proven Winners event that I just came home from if I still thought it was worth it. 100% I thought it was worth it. When I first saw the price point, I probably would have been like, actually my thought was, yeah, I don't know if I can buy this for my garden. But after working with them and getting the product, I would 100% actually pay for it myself. They did gift me all of the metal edging, but now installing it and seeing what it's done to our garden, I would hands down pay for it, because I just think that it has really helped transform and establish some really good like lines in our garden. I would definitely pay for it. I think it is so worth it. They offer free shipping, and I think it's such a good product. It's a very heavy product. For us, it was pretty easy to install. It's not like you just like lay it out and all of a sudden it's magically installed. It does take some work, but it is pretty easy to install, and I do think it is totally worth it. And the last question on that video was from Susan, and she had said, you mentioned budworms on your petunias and you were going to spray BT. I've been experimenting with that as well. How often do you treat, and can you possibly film some time your process? I think I have filmed a little tiny bit of it. So I don't use the RTU, which is the ready to use. I use the one that you need to mix. So I buy it in concentrate. Then you can make it the strongest possible level. I follow the instructions on the back of that. Sometimes I do it, sometimes Brent does it. It's kind of like 50-50 on that. And we do spray weekly for budworms, especially during the crazy growing season when the blooms have really taken off and we start to see a lot of caterpillars and we start to see a lot of moths in our garden and butterflies. Then we do spray, and we only spray on the plants that we want the budworms to not be on, so just our petunias, because it will kill any and all caterpillar that eats it. But I don't care if the caterpillars eat some other things. I just don't want them to eat all of my petunias, because then we get no blooms on our petunias, which at that point it's like, why even have petunias? So I only spray on petunias. Caterpillars, if you want to decimate something else, that wouldn't make me super upset. So you kind of need to be prepared for knowing that it's not just killing just the budworms. It's going to kill any type of caterpillar, no matter what you spray it on. So just be mindful of what you're spraying, when you're spraying, and where you're spraying. Like I said, we spray once a week, and then we mix it to the highest level of concentrate that it says on the back of the packet. The next video that we did was easy DIY fall crafts you'll actually want to make, and it was so much fun. I love making fall crafts, especially when the weather is like cozy like this. Like, it's a little bit chilly out right now, which is so nice. And this is my ideal weather. A little bit of overcast, some sprinkles of rain, 70 degrees. I am very, very happy. Or when it's like 100 degrees, when it's 108 and I can't be outside, I will go inside and I will do crafting projects, or I'll look up crafting projects. The first question on that video is from Kevin, and they had said, where did you get the stems? Asking for a friend. As long as you guys don't come for me when I tell you where I got most of the stuff from, I will share it with you. Some of our other craft stores have closed down, and so now we have really two options in town. We have Michael's and we have Hobby Lobby, and I've found that Michael's has kind of gotten away from being a crafting store, which is kind of a bummer. They have a lot more like retail stuff and then like some crafting stuff. So I've kind of been really disappointed with our local Michael's. I don't know if you guys are having the same experience. I used to be able to go there and I could find anything and everything that I wanted. And I'm finding that Michael's, the quality is going down on everything, or they just don't have it. So everything is from the other store. It's from Hobby Lobby. Please don't come for me. I know it's some people's like not favorite store. I already know. I know how people feel about them, and I am sorry, but that is where most everything came from. Just don't put my head on a platter. The next question on this video, kind of a funny one, is from Judy, and she had said, The pumpkins and centerpiece are lovely, thank you. Is giving pronouns to inanimate objects a new trend? I don't know, but it is something that I personally have done since I was a very small child. Stuffed animals have gotten he, she's, everything gets a he or a she. It's usually she for me, most things. And I have no clue why. I just do it. And I know it drives some people absolutely bonkers, and so I am sorry about that. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I give most things, especially plants, she pronouns. I just do it, and I don't know why, and I don't plan on stopping. I just think most things have a personality, and it usually happens to be a more feminine pronoun. The next video that we had done was chatting through garden chores, which was a very different style of gardening that I've ever done, or type of video that I've ever done. Where basically I just kind of worked in the garden, I chatted, you guys got to see how my brain works in real life. It is very this direction and then that direction, and then maybe back to this direction, and then a little bit up this way and down that way. It's a little bit of every which way. I have a very hard time focusing on just one task. I see a lot of things that are happening. It drives Brent crazy because I'll be mid-sentence and then I pick up on another sentence and then I'll come back to that and I'll finish it. And so my brain usually has about 6 or 7 conversations going on all at once. And one of my best friends, her brain kind of works the same way. And so it's really funny when we get together. Brent's like, you guys are psychotic because our conversations will be 6 or 7 conversations happening all at once. We'll finish our conversations, but it just sometimes all of a sudden takes a little side quest. And that's what this gardening was. So some sentences didn't get finished, some did get finished, some I came back to. And so, yeah, I don't know, it was kind of fun. It seems that you guys really enjoyed it, and I would like to do more of those. It was definitely sometimes a little bit tricky because I was like, okay, Robbie, we need to be chatting. Let's say the things out loud. Usually what I'm doing while filming is I'm very quiet while I film, because we like to use the audio that's actually in the garden of the birds and things like that. And so trying to speak when I'm used to not speaking in the garden was fun, but also a little bit of a challenge. The first question on that video is from Renee, and she had said, OMG, Robbie, why have you not taken care of the rose bush long before now so it wouldn't be as likely to break? If that was your objective, to weave it into your fencing, I about croaked when you said it broke. All that growth. So the front fence, I actually try to not spend much time in the front garden anymore. We do have a lot of people that drive by, and we do have a lot of people who do stop us when we're in the front garden. And I don't want to say it makes me uncomfortable, but if I am filming and I'm doing things in the front yard and I get stopped, it just takes that much longer to do anything in the front yard. And it happens most times, people stop, and it's not people who are just watching our videos, it's people who see the garden, or it's neighbors who just want to chat. And so it takes a lot longer to do projects when I'm filming, and then it takes even longer when I'm doing them in the front yard because people usually want to stop and talk. And then some of those branches I just didn't notice. They grew straight up into the tree. I didn't see them in the tree. And so they just got neglected. I only saw 2 branches, and I was like, okay, those are pretty tall. I'll get to those. The other 2 that were really, really tall, they were growing inside the tree. I just didn't see them. Sometimes things get missed, especially when you're filming 6 YouTube videos a week, editing 6 YouTube videos a week, traveling and doing all the things. So things get missed around here. I do enjoy being in the garden, and I've seen some other people who have left some not so kind comments about how, yeah, I don't even want to mention it. Anyways, I enjoy gardening. I spend most days in the garden. Things do get missed when you're filming YouTube videos 6 days a week, and when you're editing 6 days a week, things get missed. And also, please remember, we just built a gazebo. We just built a greenhouse. We did the entire backyard renovation. We've done fencing. Like, we've done a lot back here. Some stuff falls through the crack. I just almost swore a little bit there. So that's how you can tell how I feel about these types of comments. And I mean, and at the end of the day, they're plants. They'll be fine. They're resilient. The rose broke. It's not the end of the world. It will be okay. I do try to stay on top of most things. I'm just one person filming videos. I am one person I am one person filming videos. I'm one person responding to emails. I'm one person. We are two people building all these projects. It's just we're a team of two. Some stuff falls through the cracks. At the end of the day, it'll all be okay. The next question on that video is from Janet, and she had said biotone for the transplant rose, ? No. So I don't want to send it into too much shock. So I'm just putting it in, I put the rose in some moist soil so that way it can just work on root growth. Biotone does everything. It does root growth, it does foliar growth, it does bloom growth. So it's kind of an all-purpose fertilizer, getting absolutely everything done all at once. If I was going to go in with anything, I should have probably just gone in with some mycorrhizae fungi. That is only going to work on root growth. What that does is basically it's a fungi that drills little holes into it, encouraging new root growth, and that's probably what I should have gone in with. You have to make it so that the fungi touches the actual roots in order for it to work, so you can't just sprinkle it in the soil and hope for it to work. It has to come in contact with the current roots. I don't want to work on foliar growth. I don't want to work on bloom growth. I just want it to start working on that root system and be able to kind of come back to life in the garden a little bit. So nothing for root growth, nothing for foliar growth. So biotone probably wouldn't have been a good choice. Just anything for roots. The next question on that video is from Fabric and Flowers, and they had said, I liked our morning together. What is this new thing YouTube is doing with the hype this video? I am not exactly sure what hype is. YouTube sent me an email and they're saying that they started this hype thing. I guess that you get like 3 hypes. You can hype 3 videos on a channel. I guess you can hype 3 videos over the course of a week, and then after that you have to pay for it. Don't do that. Don't pay for hypes. If you want to hype a video and you want to hype one of mine, great. It tells YouTube that you're interested and that you're really interested, and it does push it. Eventually YouTube is going to start asking people to like pay for hypes after 3. I don't know how to turn it off. I don't know what it is. YouTube is constantly releasing new features. For a while it was that shopping thing where they would put up, when we put links in our descriptions of the product, they would put the photo, or they would put something popping up on the screen, and that was really annoying. I figured out how to turn that off. That's all shut off. I'm going to try to figure out how to turn this hype thing off. If you want to hype it, I guess it helps our channel out some. I don't exactly know how it works. It's something that YouTube has released. They're constantly releasing new things, and I just don't understand everything. I just want to upload the videos. I don't know. And the last question on that video is from Lori, and she had said, love the chit chat. Where did you get the white picket fence? We picked up the pickets from Home Depot, and then we kind of built the whole thing ourselves. So you can buy pre-assembled white pickets from Home Depot. It's quite expensive, or if you just buy the pickets individually, then you can just attach them to 2x4s, and that's what I would recommend if you are a little bit more handy, because you will save a lot more money doing it that way. And the last video for the week was Travel to Michigan with me. I made it to Michigan. I am clearly back home. The videos you are seeing this week on the main channel and next week are all going to be Michigan related videos, so they will not be in my garden. But while you guys are watching that, I will be filming things here in our garden. It feels so nice to be home. My first day back, it was 104 degrees. It was terrible. I was like, I'm ready to go back to Michigan, where it's a high of like 78 degrees, a high of like 80 at most, or something like that. It was so beautiful in Michigan. I am very happy to be home though. The first question on that video was from Barbara, and she had said, there's only one question, Robbie. Can you move your greenhouse? Oh, I know. We are definitely here permanently with the greenhouse, or as long-term as we can be with the greenhouse now. That was kind of our deciding factor though, whether we stay here or whether we move, was the greenhouse. We almost didn't do the greenhouse because we're like, we really need to decide, are we moving? Because if we're moving, we're not going to get the greenhouse. If we're staying, we're going to get the greenhouse. And it kind of happened. Like, we had been looking at other homes, like seriously looking. I had talked to a lender, and then we decided to pull the trigger on the greenhouse instead and stay here. So this is looking like it's going to be more of our permanent home. We would like to do some things to the house now that we've decided that this is going to be something a little bit more permanent for us. While we wish that we had a bit more property, I wish that we had at least an acre. It would be really nice. we're going to make do with what we have, and we're going to enjoy every moment that we're here, except for the summer days when it's over 100 degrees. I'll complain then. The next question on that video is from Jan, and she had said, isn't Michigan home of proven winners? Maybe those are test plants and why they're just so fabulous. It is home of a lot of the proven winners plants. That's actually why I was in Michigan, was to get a tour of the Proven Winners by Walter's Gardens, which when you guys see that we get a lot of plants coming in from Proven Winners, it's by Walter's Gardens. They send out usually a pallet of perennials in the garden for our garden, and so I got to go tour their facility, which was really, really nice. And then I also got a private tour of their facility. I got to come back a separate day, and so you guys will get to see a private tour of one of their gardens that I didn't really show at all. I think a lot of plants around town. We'd also gone to this little like Dutch town, and all of the plants that you saw, or all of the plants that you'll see in that, are also from Proven Winners. So I think Proven Winners does a lot of plants around town, especially in Michigan, around a lot of Michigan. Annuals, perennials, shrubs, they do a lot of it. So I think most plants that I was looking at were probably Proven Winners plants. And the last question on that video is from Dawn, and they had said, do you like a lot of snow? And it's funny because while I was out there, I told Brent, I said, start looking on Zillow. I said, buy me a house out here. We're moving out this way. I'm done with the heat. And I mean, joking, of course. And as I was talking to some of my friends who live in Michigan, they were like, Robbie, do you realize how much snow we get? And then I was like, yeah. So I think I would just need a summer house out here, and then I would have to leave for the winter time. I don't think I could do the winter months in Michigan at all. Way too cold. We hit 32, I think, one time last year, and that was cold enough for me. The year before, I think we got down to like 26 or something like that, and I was like, ooh, it's a little bit cold here. And then somebody was telling me that it hit like 10 degrees or something like that. Maybe they said negative 10. And I was like, yeah, no, that's a big no for me. I don't like that. I'll take the hot summers and still be able to garden pretty much year round here. So I do not like snow. I like snow to go up to it for the day, which we can do. It snows about 45 minutes away from our house to an hour away from our house. And we can go up there, enjoy it for the day, and then we can come home and there's no snow. That is my ideal snow condition, is enjoy it for the afternoon, have some hot chocolate, do a little sledding, and then come home and there's no snow. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Easy Q&A, and no Brent, so I do apologize about that. He will be back for the next Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.